I just wanna see you smile. I just wanna see you win. I know that it's been a while, but we gon' out again. Just don't quit. Just don't give up. Just don't quit. Just don't give up. I just wanna see you smile. I just wanna see you win. I know that it's been a while, but you be on top again. Just don't quit. Just don't give up. Just don't quit. Just don't give up. It's all What's happening, big dog? Big dog Philly. Hey man, your live streams be lit. Hey, listen. For anybody who might watch this video later on, who didn't catch the live stream, hopefully you made it to this point. You see this name I pulled up. You see this gentleman I pulled up right here. Y'all gotta check him out. Not only is he consistent, y'all know I come on when I feel like it's something important, and I try to space it out. And this gentleman here, bro, is not only consistent, but what he presents. If you don't learn something from the first 10 minutes, you ain't listening. He has one of those live streams. When he goes live, it's like that. It's consistent information. Things that'll make you think, things that'll make you go to Google or pull out a book. You can always learn something from, and he's consistent. Listen to me. I gotta make that clear. Consistent. Almost every day, this brother got a live stream, a full panel, and they all are wise people. So shout out to Big Dog Philly OG, 100%. But I'm gonna get straight into this. Y'all know how I do. I don't like to be on here too long. Give you some gems, give you some jewels, give you something to think about, and I'm gone. Check this video out, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it as it goes, actually. Okay, I can't pause it. So anyway, I'll just have to play it through. But let me give you an understanding of what you're about to see. If you can read, you read the title. That's what this is about. There's a black man, and I use color codes loosely, of course. But there's a black man, and I can't remember if he's from, where he's exactly from, but it'll be in the video. Anyway, this gentleman has been, and I'm only going by what the article says, but those with knowledge know what's up. This man has been, quote unquote, acting as a lawyer, and he won 26 cases. Listen to me. This man won 26 cases without a fucking license. Now, those with wisdom, we know you don't need a license and blah, 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 right? But this is for the people who don't know this. So anyway, this man didn't graduate from any law schools, or he didn't do any of that, okay? He has been practicing under an alias that he got from another lawyer, which might be a mistake, which is probably a mistake. He didn't use his full name, but he did use half the nigga's name, so This is Brian Mwenga. He got his name from an actual lawyer named Brian Mwenga uh, Zinga or some shit like that. It'll be in the video. Anyway, he won 26 cases without graduating from a law school. And a lot of people want him to be locked up. But also, a lot of people are in support of him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this video. Y'all get to check it out. Y'all get to look at it. And then we're going to chop it up. All right? All right. So let me get back to this video. Now, if there was a way to pause it, I would. But you read the last line, it says,
"Can you help
for
me?
faking his legal practice."
I need more energy.
Spots, y'all. Keep that in mind. Faking
Can
his
you
legal
help me?
practice. Keep that in mind, please.
I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a
Practicing law
choice.
without
Can you help me?
blah, blah, blah. Okay,
Can
these
you
are mine,
help
man.
me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always.
All right, so we're going to stop it there. We're going to get through it, but I want you to understand, and this is just how it comes across to me, of course. This is how I broke this shit down. You dig what I'm saying? When I seen, fake practices and things of this nature, knowing what I know, I understood the point that media was trying to make. It was trying to push people away. Of course, I know. But it was trying to push people away from knowing any better. And I can't get mad at the media because that's their job. It's a military strategy. Media is a part of a military strategy. If nobody knew that, now you do. And if you did know, you already knew, right? But when I read things and when I see things, I pick up on certain terms and statements and points. So when I seen without the proper qualifications and faking illegal practice, and these terms are written and printed on purpose. Okay, it's not just, oh, it sounds like it would go well with this sentence or something. No, it's put there specifically on purpose. So now when we go to law, right? When we get into law, we have so much in law that states the obvious. So, for example, we can go to Schwer versus the Board of Bar Examiners, and this is what it says. Pay attention for anybody, because they said without the proper qualifications, and they also said faking his legal practice. Everybody has the right to practice law. That's not something I'm trying to debate with you. This is something I'm telling you, right? Like I said, if we go to Schwer versus the Board of Bar Examiners, a state cannot exclude a person from the practice of law or from any other occupation in a manner or for reasons that contravene the due process clause of the 14th Amendment. Then we go on to the practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. So when you see a gentleman or a lady, a woman, right, who has done what this gentleman has done, Brian Wenger wins 26 cases without ever graduating from a law school. When you see media say faking legal practices, and then you go study your law and you realize that every human being has a right to practice law, I'm giving you cases. I'm giving you references. All you got to do is see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, right? Swear, first, the Board of Bar Examiners. The practice of law is an occupation of common right. So there are people who want him locked. Like I said, if you read the title, I'm summarizing, right? There are people who want him locked up because they feel like he's made a mockery of the law, which is funny to me because those same people must either be ignorant of law or just assholes. Okay? Because every human, every person has the right to practice law. You also have something called the right to assist. The right to assist. So, if we go to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 17 is called the next friend, where it says, a next friend is a person who represents someone who is unable to tend to his or her own interests. So, if these people get into some bullshit, and Brian Winder is qualified to represent these people, he's able to, and he should, and he can if he wants. A lot of people don't know the right to assist or the right to practice law. Every man is independent of all laws except those prescribed by nature. He is not bound by any institutions formed by his fellow men without his consent. Litigants can be assisted by unlicensed laymen during judicial proceedings. Brotherhood of Trained Men versus Virginia. Brian Winder won 26 cases because he knows law. You have a right to practice law. Now, what he did, the only thing that he did that might have fucked him up a little bit was taking somebody else's name. Because there's penalties behind that. Because the actual lawyer that you stole his name from, you took his business, right? The privacy between client and lawyer, even though, lawyer works for the motherfucking courts. Still, though, these things might land him in trouble. For those people who want him locked up, let me see. For those people who want him locked up, they gotta focus on the name. They can't focus on him being in court and practicing law, because everybody has a right to practice law. And he won the 26 cases. He didn't lose them.
Can you help me? energy? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? I need more energy. Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy. There's always a choice. Can you help me? Can you help me? I need more energy.
Now, you might have noticed. Now, you might have noticed a couple key words in that motherfucker right there, like scam artist, like con man. Did y'all peep those words, right? But you also noticed that significant figures are backing him. You also notice that they understand that he was great at what he does, and that the only difference is he didn't become correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. It's on the top of my head, but I'm an agent at a crown. I believe that's the proper term for a lawyer, for a prosecutor, for a judge. Agents of the crown. They didn't say that. They said traditional ways, right? Con men and scam artists. Like I said at the beginning of this live stream, I pick up on certain words. I pick up on certain phrases because I know the media is going to word things to warp your understanding. Well, they can't do that if you're sharp mentally. So I seen con man and I seen scammer, which is funny to me when you understand who and what a lawyer and prosecutor is. That's your scammer. That's your con artist. So the fact that a man, it could have been a woman, but it's the fact that a man who knows just as much law and how to apply it didn't have to go and become an agent of the crown. right? And still is successful in helping people. So once again, you have the right to practice law. I gave you the references and the sources for that. Go look them up. You have the right to assist, which is what he's pretty much doing. You got the next friend rule, and that's the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure Rule 17. Then you have uh, NAACP versus Button, United Mine Workers of America versus Gibbs, and Johnson versus Avery. Now, I'm giving you sources to look these up to clarify and solidify, right? And in that, it says, because you know I take my notes before I open my mouth. Members of groups who are competent non lawyers, can assist other members of the group achieve the goals of the group in court without being charged with unauthorized practice of law. Did you hear me? Let me say that shit again one more time. This is NAACP versus Button. This is United Mine Workers of America versus Gibbs, and Johnson versus Avery. You can look up any one of those three where it says members of groups who are competent non lawyers, like this brother here, can assist other members of the group achieve the goals of the group in court without being charged with unauthorized practice of law. Now, why is that? Because we have the right to practice law. When you become a lawyer, what you do is, at that moment, I'm summarizing and I'm simplifying, of course. What you're doing when that happens is you're deciding to play for the other team. You're deciding right then and there that you would rather be an agent as opposed to helping the people. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. That not only applies to the man and woman, but that also applies to the courts, the police, uh, the judges, etc., etc. So the people who are wanting him to go to jail for practicing law, which is his right to do so, and he's a winning lawyer. I don't even want to call him a lawyer, but for lack of a better word, I guess I'll call him a lawyer, right? He has won every case he's had. Those in support of him call him a brilliant mind and that he should be allowed to practice law. The only stipulation is he should go to law school and graduate and become an agent. Now, if I was him personally, if I was him, I wouldn't take that stipulation. I don't need that. But, you know, to each his own. There was a gentleman, I'm pretty sure you guys remember, there was a gentleman who pretended to be a doctor, got caught, chilled out for a while, and then he just recently got caught doing it again. Now, in situations like that's a different ball game because you're dealing with physical human bodies where you could kill somebody, right? So, in my opinion, as far as that's concerned, you should be qualified before you open a body up or do surgery on somebody. But as far as law, anybody can learn law proper. Anybody can execute law proper. It's just a lot of people, I don't want to say all, but a lot of people would rather just let it be. And it is what it is. And that's the problem. Because for those ignorant minds, if you read something like this, you might think that this quote unquote scammer, con man, imposter has done something wrong. And the media knows that most people don't know law. So they're going to word it. You see how they had the word scammer? It was in all red. You notice that? So for those untrained minds who don't know any better, and this is the beauty of media, they're real good at what they do. They're going to flip the script and make you think that this young man has done something wrong, or that he needs to be penalized to some degree or something. when in fact he has every right to practice law. Now, if you call me and you ask me to be the next friend or a representation of you in court, that's your responsibility that you know that I'm qualified. With this gentleman, he has 26 cases under his belt in which he won every one of them. I would say he knows law enough to not have to take to get his license. They want you to get the license. That way you work for them. It doesn't matter what court we're in or what landmass we're in. It's all one big empire, if you will. So his name is Brian Winder. He won 26 cases without graduating law school. There are people who want to condemn him for that because they feel like he should have to go to school and graduate and get his little card and all this stupid ass shit. Hold on, y'all. Y'all check this out for 2 seconds. Let me talk to my daughter.
Hey man, you ain't hit that like yet? There's good herb in the air. There's good information in the air. And you still ain't hit the like? You ain't subscribed yet? Bro, come on, man. You ain't shared the channel, shared the video? What are you doing? Put the weed down real quick. Hit the like. And then lift that weed back up. And hit that shit.
Hopefully y'all did hit the like. Hopefully y'all have tried to share it out. Blah, blah, blah. You feel me? But once again, let me give you these sources. You can go make sure that King Oz isn't steering you down the wrong road of thinking. Once again, you can look at Meyer versus Nebraska. Okay. You can look at Schwer versus the Board of Bar Examiners. You can look at Sherrard versus Cullen. You know I write all my shit down. You can look at Sims versus Aherns, 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 and where it says the practice of law is an occupation of common right. Common right when it comes to the right to assist. And the right to assist is what this gentleman is doing, Brian Winder. Not only is he practicing his right to practice law, but also his right to assist. And when we look at our right to assist, the Brotherhood of Trained Men versus Virginia, we have Virginia State Bar versus Wainwright. We have the Federal Rules of Civil Procedures, Rule 17, which is the next friend. All of these, oh yeah, NAACP versus Button, United Mine Workers of America versus Gibbs, and Johnson versus Avery. We can look at all of these and see that it is up to us. Because once again, ignorance of law is not a defense, which means it's not only on the side of the police, but it's on the side of you too. If you don't know law and they do what they want with you, it's your fault, not theirs. If you allow them to do what they want to you, it's your fault, not theirs, because you decided to be ignorant of the law. So Brian Winder, I just wanted to, switch up the YouTube rhythm. You know, YouTube rhythm got stupid shit all around it. Niggas is still debating religion. Y'all some dumbasses. You got motherfuckers trying to be the most woke nigga on YouTube, no more than the next nigga. Hey, bro, you got it. You got motherfuckers talking about celebrity business. Don't nobody give a fuck. So, I just wanted to switch up the rhythm of YouTube and just give some, gems and jewels, just a couple, for those people who are into law or who want to get into law. This is a good starting point. Know that you have the right to practice law in the first place. Know that you have the right to assist people. And the right to assist people is kind of what I'm doing here and what I do on Patreon completely. And this is to break down and explain and give sources and reference points to build your information up. If you know, if you look at it like this, if you know universal law, you can teach people about universal law. That's still practicing law. You see what I'm saying? The the understanding needs to be there, family. So when I read this, I thought it was dope. And when I seen how media tried to twist and warp the actual factuals of things, I thought it was worth the conversation. I thought it was worth the mention. This man didn't go to school. He was self-taught. And what he did is what I try to explain to the people, especially on my Patreon. Shout out to the scientists on my Patreon, by the way. And that is, when you know law, that's cool. That's great. That's great. But when you start to practice it, execute it in everyday shit, then you can see yourself shown, proved, and and, and, and then you feel some type of way. You start to build your confidence up, right? And that's something that I come across a lot. People will listen to law and it'll go in one ear and out the other. And I understand it. And the reason y'all do that is because you know in your heart, and I already know, that you don't have any plans of executing what you're learning. So therefore, you leave space to complain and bitch and moan. We don't like to be so blunt with each other, but I love it. I fucking love it. I know when I'm talking to a person and I'm breaking something down and they said they weren't interested. So they listen, but I never see them execute. I already know what's up. You don't have enough of a backbone to execute law. You'd rather just sound good. And that's what I see on YouTube a lot. A lot of motherfuckers just want to sound good on YouTube. Want to look good on YouTube. I know more than the next nigga. Da, 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 da. If we're still arguing over religion and Jesus and Buddhas, and we're still doing that. We're still arguing about history. Shout out to the scientists who know why I'm laughing. You feel me? Just shout out to y'all, bro. Because I'm on YouTube and I watch. I sit in bushes and I listen to conversations. And majority of what I hear and what I see is motherfuckers on panels arguing how smart they are compared to somebody else. And it's like, but none of you bitches is like boots on the ground with it. It just sound good, nigga. Oh well, the motherfucking Arabs is this and that, and this and Christopher Columbus, you don't know nothing about the Virginia Company. Yeah, da, 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 da. Oh goodness, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, but the Jesus Christ and the Christians, nah, shut the fuck up. We stuck in a loop, family. And what's the only way to change it? Check this out. Every culture, every civilization, every empire, every dynasty, right? What did they all have in common other than culture, of course? They had laws. They had a set of laws, whether it be Ma'at laws, universal laws, whatever the fuck the laws were, right? Even even though this annoys me, I'm gonna use it as an example. It annoys the fuck out of me, but I'm gonna use it. Don't slaughter me for it because I don't really care in the first place. It's just an example. Even in what motherfuckers call ancient Egypt, right? Even in and I don't call it ancient Egypt because that shit is the baby of history. But just for conversation's sake, that's my auntie. That's my auntie. What's up, auntie? I'm just teaching right now. But even in ancient Egypt, even though that they had a set of laws. For example, just a quick example. I'm not building. I'm not breaking it down. I'm not doing none of that. You niggas can do it yourself. You had a moment to where a pharaoh could be a man or a woman, right? And we skipping over a lot of shit. We not breaking down nothing. But that goes. My mama called me. Hold up. But that just goes to show you they had a set of laws. How? Because if a male was to be succeeded by a female, That was a law. That was a rule that was implemented in their culture. You feel what I'm saying? So no matter how far you go back, you got what's that shit called? Big Dog Philly, help me, or Bronze Flat Power God, either one of y'all, help me with this. The wise man, the elder of the community. What did they call him? It wasn't just elder, but anyway, I'm sure my gods in there will be able to give me that right word. But even the wise man had a role. The elder in the tribe has a role. The only reason he was respected and honored was because the cultural had rules. They had a culture, right? And a culture has implemented rule. So, family, when you understand how important it is to not only know law, but to practice law, if you feel like you don't have a backbone that's strong enough to drop your nuts and execute and practice the laws that are necessary, do not complain about America. Do not complain about the government. Do not complain about the police. Do not complain about education. Do not complain about the pharmaceuticals. Do not complain about anything that happens on this landmass that you're a part of. If you haven't dropped your nuts, strengthened up your backbone, and executed and practiced and stood on your own 10 in your own power. Because if you're not doing that, guess what? You are automatically enslaved because you choose to. One of the biggest things you have to realize, and this all ties in with the gentleman Brian Winder, if you're paying attention and have ears to hear, he stood on his 10. He executed and practiced something that everybody has the power to do. You can't complain about the education system, how it's a prison pipeline shit and all that shit we love saying because it's cliche and it's feel good shit. You can't complain about the education system if you haven't studied the history and corrected the teachers or corrected the curriculum, challenged the curriculum. You can't complain about it now. You can't complain about the police fucking up black folks, brown folks, yellow folks, white folks, green folks, and blue folks if you haven't studied the laws, stood on that shit, and executed and practiced it when it came time. Don't complain about it. Shut up. Can't complain about religion and how trash that shit is if you haven't done the due diligence and research and studies to even know why someone would say it's trash and terrible and you look stupid praying to Jesus, right? To you, it would sound blasphemous, right? But once again, you have to execute. Once you gain the knowledge, you gotta even. Hey, big dog, bro. Oof, this is tough. Bronze. This should be tough sometimes, man. Because people, we love to complain about shit, but we don't want to do shit about it. At least Brian Winder, self-taught, executed on his knowledge, used his knowledge for the betterment. He helped 26 motherfuckers. Self-taught. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, my auntie in here. Yeah, my auntie in here. What's up, Caesar? Caesar. You feel me? I'm just speaking on, if you miss it, there was a gentleman named Brian Winder who practiced law without graduating from law school, and he won all of his cases, 26 cases, won by a self-taught man. And there are some who want him to be locked up, and there are some who don't want him locked up. And the ones that don't want him locked up are powerful figures, ex-mayors and shit. So that's kind of what you missed, but you can run it back or whatnot. Appreciate you tapping in. Uh, I'm just telling the family, if you don't see the importance of knowledge, then you got to continue to be a slave. And when I call you a slave, when I call you Toby, nigga, don't get mad. Don't get angry. Don't get upset. You're a fucking slave. You're a slave. Your mama a slave. Your child's a slave. Your daddy's a slave. Your sister's a slave. You're a family of slaves. And see, that's too rough. For YouTube 2023, niggas is too bitch made to hear shit like that. They want feel good talk. I don't want to give you that. because then I do you a disservice of not being honest and truthful. You see the views go down when you start talking real shit. It's something called consent, and that's the reason you're a slave. It's called consent. That's one of the biggest things that's gonna catch every time because it's so subtle in the loopholes with consent. It's so subtle. So, for instance, this is just an example. If a cop says, "Let me see your ID and all this," and you give it to him because you think you have to, consent, right there. That fucking easy. You see what I'm saying? You see how easy this is? Once you argue with an officer, that's consent because you're putting that officer in something called dishonor. So, family, I thought this was dope to see a young man. It could have been a young woman. I wouldn't give a fuck. But to see a young person, self-taught, bronze flat power god, big dog Philly. These are what these channels that I keep bringing up. Big dog Philly, bronze flat power. These are the channels that I appreciate because they're kind of on the same time I'm on. Like, stop being a bitch about shit. Stop being a punk about shit. Get active. Get your knowledge game up. See, they appeal to motherfuckers like me who are on the same type of vibe. I'm appealing to those who have like minds as well. Shout out to the scientists who are part of my Patreon. Over 51 classes. You heard that. Yes, you did. 51 law classes already done. Let me throw this up there one more time.
Hey man, you ain't hit that like yet? There's good herb in the air. There's good information in the air. And you still ain't hit the like? You ain't subscribed yet? Bro, come on, man. You ain't shared the channel, shared the video? What are you doing? Put the weed down real quick. Hit the like. And then lift that weed back up. And hit that shit.
Yeah, family. It's not hard to know these things. Um, Especially when I have it all broken down into classes, individual topics from consent to the right to travel or not, question mark, right? It's all broken down on my Patreon. And I just want to see people sharpen up, and I want to see people stand up and drop their nuts. Because if not, then the way that this business landmass is operating is going to continue. And the only reason it continues to this far is not because there's like some almighty powerful motherfuckers above us who just are just like that. No, it's nothing. It's not like that at all. It's the fact that those who are in higher power positions know that us, the people, majority wise at least, would rather bitch and moan and point fingers, and they know we're not going to sharpen up. If the land masses ran on business laws, which enslave anybody who's not a part of that business, it would make sense for those people who have become slaves through this to learn business law, to learn maritime law, to learn admiralty law, constitutional law, human rights, trust laws. It's a lot. It's a lot, but you got to start somewhere. Or you're just going to point the finger to an imaginary motherfucking problem when really the problem is you not executing on anything, just waiting for sound, feel good shit to bob your head and be like, yeah, I agree. Oh man, that's fucked up. Right? And this is just the reality of things. You see what happens when you're self taught and you execute? Brian Winder is a perfect example of self taught, executing, dropping his nuts, growing a backbone, and standing on his 10. Imagine if we were all like that. I'll take a second for that imagination to pop up. Go ahead. The police couldn't do what they want. The courthouses couldn't do what they want. The government couldn't do what they want because the people wouldn't allow it. When we go to, and I hate using this term, but when we go to ancient times, to us, of course, it's ancient to us. But when we go back and we look, every culture, every tribe, however you want to title communities, right? They stood on principles. They had a system, a hierarchy. They had all of these things in place, and they flourished until their time came to an end, of course, until they've been infiltrated or something, whatever it may be. So, family, Brian Winder, 26 cases, self-taught, won everything. Let's do that ourselves. Once again, I have law shorts on my YouTube channel. Just go watch some of those shorts. Or you can join the Patreon, where I have over 51 classes. Not only law, but the symbology of it as well. With that being said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'm out.